So you might be looking up in the skies one day and see a bunch of clouds, and all of a sudden the clouds disappear, and then there you got a fleet of so-called UFOs. And that's going to be our liberation. That's the thing that's going to liberate us. Only the elect. And we pray that we are of the elect. And the scripture said, Peter said, give diligence to make thy calling and election sure. And that's why I said, keep putting out the videos, man. That's the reason why we were set up, to put this truth out there. Anyway, I'm going to say, Shalom. And, I'll see you on the next one. Shalom.
Right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakah Kodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles of great millstone that rule well. Salutations to the hopeful and sincere elect, men of the elect. Right, so as you know, as you just heard, Apostle Taha said that basically we were set up to push this word, because that will be the work of the elect. Alright, that will be the work of the elect, because the elect was made to serve the Most High. Alright, that was scripture said in Ecclesiastes 12. It says there is the whole duty of a man. Alright, so when he said that to push the 3 videos, guess what? That was actually for the elect's sake, because the scripture said out of our bellies will flow rivers of living water. Now, rivers of living water is something that comes constantly. Alright, now if we did one video a week, that wouldn't be constantly. At some point you might have some stagnance going on with the flow, but by constantly putting videos up, there is a constant flow of the water, rivers of living water. Alright, scripture said daily we were preaching in the synagogues. So by daily putting up videos, guess what? That is actually following in the paths of the ancient apostles. Alright, so by us doing that, that is actually benefiting for the elect. It's not about, getting views. It's not about, to show off that great millstone, they be more diligent. No, it's not about our glory. Alright, it's about Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's glory. So what we do is not of ourselves. We do it because of the spirit that the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai put upon us. Alright, so I want to go into the scriptures here. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 1. It says, moreover, brethren, I declare unto you the gospel which I have preached unto you, which ye also have received, and wherein ye stand, by which also you are saved, because this word is working to save you. The scripture said they were saved through wisdom. Alright, it says by which you also are saved, if you keep in memory what I have preached unto you, unless ye have believed in vain. So he said if you keep in memory. Now if we do let me say like Apostle Taha, right? Let me say Apostle Taha did a video the 1st of January concerning putting up 3 videos per week. And for 3 or 4 months, men haven't been doing that. And then 6 months down the road, he come again and did a video. And men still haven't been doing that. Then guess what then? It wasn't in the memory. That is why you would hear Apostle Taha constantly speaking about it. Alright? That is why you would hear we constantly speak about the salvation of it. It seems, it would almost seem like the word of the Most High, it's redundant. Which to a point, it kind of redundant because it's the same thing over and over. But it's so that it would sit within your mind. It will leave an impression on your spirit, so that you wouldn't soon forget these things. That is why you would hear 10 to 15 to even 20 brothers might be doing basically the same videos from different parts of the world, because it's one spirit. And all right, so the Holy Spirit connected, but also because is to remind you. The scripture said to stir up your pure mind by way of remembrance, is to remind you. So we were set up to actually get the scripture say he that is wise would save souls. So we here set up to wake up the elect. So that by constantly putting out these videos, it will actually keep one another in remembrance of the truth of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That is why we were set up. We were set up to push this word. Alright? Unless they believe in vain. Jumping down to verse 10. It says, but by the grace of Yahweh I am what I am. And his grace which was bestowed upon me was not in vain, but I labored more abundantly than they all. Yet not I, but the grace of Yahweh which was in me. It says, therefore, whether it were I or they, so we preach and so we believe, because the word was constantly being pushed. All right? So the grace of the Most High was in us that we constantly push this word. All right? We were set up to please the Most High. We were set up to push this word so that it would actually keep the elect in that mind constantly that, hey, salvation right around the corner, and do good that no harm will touch you. Stay faithful unto the Lord. That is why we're pushing this word. We push this word actually to please the Most High. All right? This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3. It says, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Mashiach, that no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who had called him to be a soldier. Alright? Verse 5, it says, and if a man strive for the mastery, yet he is not crowned except he strive lawfully. Alright? So you have to be striving, you have to be constantly pushing this word. Alright? The Lord said, out of it and flow living waters, and he also said to feed the sheep. He told Peter that 3 times to show Peter the importance of pushing this word. This word is not about pushing it once or twice, but actually to continuously push this word. Alright? That is the purpose of Yahushai giving us the ability, putting his spirit in us to, as putting that zeal in us. As Apostle Taha said, give diligence, putting that diligence in us to push this word so that, sometimes if you tell somebody, as I said before, if you tell somebody something once, they might remember, but then it might slip. But then if you constantly say the same thing over and over, because by me pushing videos, then guess what? It can sit within the spirit all the time. And they wouldn't soon forget it. Alright? This is the final precept here. This is Proverbs 18 verse 20. It says, a man's belly shall be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth, and with the increase of his lips shall he be filled. So it says, by the increase of his lips shall he be filled, and by his belly shall be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth. So if you do one video per week, or one video 2 weeks, or for the month you ain't do no videos, guess what? You actually not satisfying the belly of the elect. But by constantly pushing videos out, you actually flooding the internet, and you actually saturating, as the scripture said, it shall be opening in heavens. You actually saturating the media wave with this word, that it always have food, that it would not have no drought or famine. So better to say, it will have no famine of the word. Where the famine of the word can come. But as of right now, the scripture said the truth shall flourish, and the truth flourishing right now by means of the Most High putting that spirit on Apostle Taha to give diligence and to put that spirit in us, that we push videos diligently. Alright? So that we would feed the elect. So, the men who have a problem with Apostle Taha giving that order, guess what? You don't have a problem with Apostle Taha. And I just want to read that precept real quick. You don't have a problem with Apostle Taha. Alright? You actually live around the Most High. It says, Romans chapter 13 verse 2. It says, whoso therefore resisted the power, resisted the ordinance of the Most High. and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnations. So when you're resisting Apostle Tao, Apostle Gaba, Apostle Rukal, Apostle Ariam Lab, you're actually resisting the Most High. Because the Most High is the one who gave Apostle Taha that spirit. Who gave him, the authority to push that, to put that order out. The scripture says, whatsoever you bound in earth shall be bound in heaven. Alright? So you need to gain that spirit to feed the elect, because there is what it's about. You came here to teach. Not a lollygag. You came in this thing to teach the elect that your works will be fruitful. So with that, I want to give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakakodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles of great mercy do not rule well. Salutations to the men of the hopeful and sincere elect that pushing this word in sincerity and in truth. Alright, and until that time, I want to say Shalom.